Your station for Dallas Cowboys football. Brought to you by Tyler Ford. Here's Bryan Houston.
Friday afternoon, sitting here at the stadium in White House, getting ready for White House and Sulphur Springs later on this evening. We'll go on the air at 7 o'clock tonight with the Coach Randy McFarland show, and then at 7:30 we'll have all the action for you, and it ought to be a pinball kind of a game. Back and forth. Last year, 70-49. Betting on something like that again tonight, I can tell you. It's going to be crazy. That kicks off at 7:30 tonight on 99.3 Talk FM. Right now on the APEC VIP hotline, cutting-edge training for the serious athlete, apecgo.com. I've been in East Texas for a really long time, and I've been a big fan of this guy for a really long time, but I've never had the opportunity to actually visit with him until now. But I'm really, really excited to be able to tell you that we have on the line right now with us Neal McCoy. How you doing, Neal?
I'm fine, Bryan Houston. How the heck you doing, buddy?
Man, I am doing great because you're talking to us for one thing, and I really do appreciate you talking to us. That's awesome. I've had the pleasure of watching you over at the Cattle Barons Ball a couple of times, just knock them naked, and we love your stuff and always have. And I got to ask you, are you a sports fan?
I'm a huge sports fan, and I just want to give a big shout-out to the Texas Rangers who got that $3 million last year. And then they had it all set up for the big win. The A's had lost, and then they just didn't get it done. Doggone it.
Well, you know, they sent Nathan out for the third straight night. They need to give that guy a night off, so they got to go out and punish Seattle this weekend. I'm starting to get a little nervous about this Rangers team right now, you know, because they only got that 3-game lead.
Well, you're telling me we can't get Oakland to lose, and they finally lose. We get an opportunity to go up 4, and we just can't get it done. Get the 9th inning, Nathan gives them 2 homers of it. It killed me. Oh, it killed me.
No, I know. Now, you're the pride of Jacksonville, Texas. How much time did you spend at the Tomato Bowl?
Oh, I spent a little bit of time at the Tomato Bowl. We, and I appreciate you saying that. I don't know that I'm the pride of Jacksonville, Texas, but I did. I was born and raised there, so I'm sure happy to call Jacksonville my hometown.
Well, I spent many a night over there. I did play-by-play for the Fighting Indians, and I was told real early on, don't say Fighting Indians, say Fighting Indians, or you're going to make people mad and they will kick your rear end. So I said, yes, sir, whatever, you know, so I kept it clean that way.
Right.
So
no G on it. That's right. It's just fighting. Yes, sir.
That's exactly right. I mean, that's proper English we're talking about here, so you got to deal with it. All right. What have you been doing?
Man, we have been working. We're still on the road, Bryan, about 200 days a year, doing a little over 100 shows. We had an album come out early in the first part of the year. It hadn't done as well as we hoped it would, but the way we make our living, and pretty much the way any of these acts make their living, I would say artists, but I know people call me artists, but I never painted one thing in my life, so I call us acts. The way we make our living is out here doing shows. That's where we have an opportunity to people buy tickets and come see us. We don't make any money on record sales much anymore.
Yeah, the business has changed a lot, hasn't it?
Oh man, yeah, it's changed dramatically, and really, I never made any money off of record sales. Although we've been pretty lucky and sold quite a few records. When the record label gets invested in you, there's that famous word recoupable, and believe me, they they recoup everything that they've ever spent before you get anything. But that's okay. We still have the opportunity to go out and do shows, and that's where we try and make our living.
So how hard a life is that? I mean, I know you got back in from, Houston just 2 nights ago, right? And you're going back out to Oklahoma City tomorrow?
Well, actually, we got in from Houston this morning. We had a show in Houston last night.
Wow. Okay, what time did you get in this morning?
We got in about 6 this morning.
Good night,
and then
man.
We leave at 1:30 this morning to go to Oklahoma City. So, in other words, in 7 hours.
And I guess you got the tricked-out bus?
Yes, sir. We got a couple of tricked-out buses. The only thing, if you got buses, you got problems. They're nothing but money pits, but you got to have them.
Well, how many people travel with you?
We've got about a total of 13 folks that travel the roads with us.
No kidding. Now, how did you get into the music business? What is it that kicked it off where you were able to start doing this on a professional basis?
Well, I get sheer stupidity, Bryan. I can tell you that old saying, be careful what you wish for, you may get it. Well, that's what happened to me. I thought I wanted to be an entertainer and a singer, and I still do. It's just some of the tough part of being out here is just being gone and missing, anniversaries and special things with your kids, but that's just part of what we do. But I I started working around there. I grew up in Jacksonville, graduated from Lon Marsh Junior College, and then I moved to Longview, Texas. I was supposed to go on and graduate from Texas A&M, like my father and my older brother and older sister. And I decided, I think I want to do this singing thing. I'm going to try this. And so I got a job around here in Longview, Texas, and just started singing on the weekends. And in 1981, I'd been married about a year. I won a contest in Dallas, Texas. And through that contest, I met Charlie Pride, and folks who hopefully know that name. He's a superstar in country music.
Absolutely.
I met Charlie. He took me under his wing and kind of helped me get going. But and let me open shows with him. I got to go all over the world with the opening shows. I do go out and do about 15 minutes with his band. He was very kind to let me do that. But it took another 9 years before I ever signed a record deal. And then that's when I was working that whole time. Then I signed my first record deal in 1990 with Atlantic Records and started doing some recording. And after a little while, we finally got some things played on the radio, and it's just been working.
Wow. And fabulous entertainer. Your stage show is just terrific. It always has been.
Well, that's kind of where we make our living and what we think we do the best. And without sounding too egotistical, we're as good as anybody at entertaining people because we take the stage with that attitude. We're going to entertain you. So we're going to do some of our music, some other things we like to do, and some things hopefully that people will recognize maybe from other folks. We just want to make sure when you come to the Neal McCoy Show, when you walk away, you're going to say, boy, that's about as much fun as I've ever had. That's our goal.
Well, I tell you what, you hit that goal. I would bet almost every night, right?
We sure shoot for it. We give 100%. And usually we don't quit until we've won them over. And sometimes it's a challenge at some of the venues where you're playing that maybe not too many folks know you, or a corporate event or something like that. But we stay after them, and we don't give up on them until we get them where we want them.
You work them. How many times have you played someplace where they had chicken wire around the stage?
You know what? I've never had the chicken wire.
Darn.
But probably needed it a couple of times. but I never
you might have wanted to throw stuff at the audience.
Yeah, we want to leave it open so we can chunk some of that stuff back in case it comes up there.
Let me ask you, when you were growing up, who were your favorites? What kind of music did you like to listen to? Based on your show, are you kind of all over the road on some of this stuff?
I am all over the road. I grew up with everything from easy listening stuff like the Carpenters to the disco era. I graduated high school in '76, so that's when all the disco stuff was in. And yes, I went through my R&B little old craze with Luther Vandross and James Ingram and Jeffrey Osborne, folks like that.
Wow.
I grew up and I'm a huge big band nut. I'm a big Sinatra fan.
Really?
Yes, sir. But it's kind of crazy, Brian, and I appreciate that. And I listen to your show because I'm a huge sports fan. So growing up, and as I started to have some success in the music business, my dream was to have been an athlete. That's what I would always want to do. So some of my best friends some of the best relationships I've made in my career have been with athletes instead of musical folks because, we all do the same thing. So
it's funny when you said that because every time I've talked to someone who has been in the music industry, they always wanted to be a pro athlete, and the pro athletes all wanted to be rock or country stars.
Yeah, that's exactly how that works. I guess if you're successful in one thing, you think, well, shoot, I wish I could have done that, or maybe I can do that also. When in reality, you probably can't. I'm probably a lot better off doing what I'm doing.
Well, if you had the wide open dream of just being anybody, a pro athlete, who would you have wanted to be like?
Oh my gosh, there's some great role models, some great folks out there. I would have to say, and one of my best friends is Karl Malone, that played for the Utah Jazz, the mailman that played for the Jazz forever. But there are a lot of people over Brian that didn't like him. He was pretty aggressive, but I liked his attitude. And I'll tell you why, and it's the same thing. It's going to sound like I'm name dropping. Well, I am name dropping. And also Nolan Ryan's good. Nolan Ryan's a good friend of mine. But those two guys, I try to mimic what they do in their attitudes of every time they took the court or took the field. That's the same attitude I take to a stage, in that I'm going to give you everything I have, every night or every pitching rotation that I'm in. I'm giving you everything I got. That's the only thing I know. So those were huge role models to me, because I thought those guys, when they're doing their craft, there's a reason that they're as good as anybody or better than most, is because all they know is to give it all, and that's the same attitude I take. And that's one of the reasons I love sports guys. I love those guys, and sometimes the unsung hero guys that are just workers. I mean, that's my attitude is, even if I'm not as good as you on the stage, I'm going to outwork you. People are going to like me because I'm going to work harder than you.
That's very cool. Blue-collar attitude.
That's right, blue-collar, yes, sir.
I love that. And as far as the Rangers are going, what do you think their shot is of actually going to a third World Series and this time winning the thing?
I just want to get there this year. It's a little scarier. And you mentioned that a while ago, that huge lead that we had for a long time. We were all worried about the Angels being the ones that might sneak up on us, and then Oakland goes on that crazy win streak, and then they win 12 games in a row on the road. They finally got beat last night, and then we think we're playing the Indians and may have a leg up, and all looks good until the ninth inning. I really feel good about our chances if we get into the playoffs. I think we're going to be good, and I feel confident we're going to get to the playoffs. We still got to play. I think we've got 7 more games with Oakland.
Yeah.
So, that will determine it. If we just take care of business there.
You do keep up with this.
What's that?
I said you do keep up with this.
Oh, I'm a huge sports fan, and a big Texas sports fan. With the exception of, if you're an Aggie or you have people. My daughter graduated from A&M. If you have folks that go to A&M, you're not as big a Longhorn fan, obviously, as a lot of people.
Right. Yeah. No, I understand that now. What'd you think of the Aggies in their Southeastern Conference debut last weekend?
God, it's just reminders of last year. Those halftime leads, you feel pretty good. You're playing good, and then for whatever reason, I thought with new coaching, new quarterback, just new attitude this year that we had the lead at halftime. I thought we're going to be different than last year, and we weren't. But I thought we made a pretty good showing. Everybody says SEC so tough, and I realize they're a great conference, and especially from the SEC people, you're going to hear it's the best conference and toughest conference there. But, we come out of the Big 12, and the Big 12 plays pretty good, too. So I thought we made a great showing. I just thought with a little luck, and we could have won that thing. And if the guy misses the 51-yarder at halftime when we call the timeout, if we don't call the timeout, then the game's tied at the end of the game, and maybe we have a shot in overtime, but we kind of blew that.
I think they're going to be pretty good before it's all said and done.
I do, too. I like that Manziel kid.
Oh, no kidding.
I thought he played great the first half, and then I thought reality set in, and he thought, oh, shoot. I'm in the SEC. This is big-time college stuff, and I think he seemed to get a little more nervous the second half.
Yeah, well, he's just a freshman, so I think he's got a bright future ahead. Hey, I know we're going to have to let you run here before too long, but I got to talk to you about the East Texas Angel Network. You got big benefits coming up here at the end of the month.
Yes, sir, and I appreciate you letting me mention that. It's our 18th year. It's called the East Texas Angel Network. You already said that. It's a foundation my wife and I started, obviously 18 years ago, to help children with life-threatening illness or serious illnesses here in East Texas, help them and their family with expenses. And it's something we're extremely proud of. All the money that we raise stays right here in East Texas. And we've helped over 400 families and raised almost $7 million.
Wow.
With the help of a lot of folks, almost all of them being from Northeast Texas, and with corporate sponsorships and donations throughout the year, and the people that pay, the ticket price that come see the concert that we offer them. We like to think that they're making a donation and they get a great concert also. That's kind of the way we look at it. But I appreciate you letting me talk about it. We got a golf tournament on Friday, September the 28th, and it is at Wood Hollow Golf Course this year in Longview, Texas.
Okay.
And then the next night, Saturday, and something new that my bass player, who is a bicycle, I don't know if advocate or he loves to ride, whatever that is.
Right.
He started up, this is our first year, and he's just getting underway, so not too many people know about it. We're on a bicycle ride on the morning of the 29th, the Saturday morning, and we would love for people to find that love riding and want to ride and help raise money for the foundation. We'd love for them to get involved, and I'll give you information on that in a minute. But that night, Saturday night, we're having a concert. We've changed venues this year. But we're at the Belcher Center, which is at LeTourneau University over here in Longview. It's a great, great theater. and it's going to be me, a wonderful group that's been around country music for a long time, won a lot of awards, Sawyer Brown.
Yeah.
And we've got some of the current Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders coming down to.
There you go.
Yep, help entertain. They'll get up during our show and do a couple of routines to with some of our songs. We're tickled to death to have them. I became friends with the organization about 11 years ago on my first USO tour, and we love that organization. And you know, how can you go wrong having the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders? Everybody loves them.
Yeah, that's a pretty good given there. That's not bad at all. Okay, so the website is EastTexasAngelNetwork.com. Is that where they need to go to sign up for the golf tournament too?
Yes, sir, and find out about the bicycle ride and more information on the concert if you want to. And the easiest way, if people can't remember that, is go to nealmccoy.com, and there's a link on there.
Okay.
And the phone number to find out more to our foundation is 903-297-9000. Pretty easy to remember, 297-9000. And they give you more information about where to get tickets. And, you know, we hope. And one of the things we want to let folks know, Brian, and I know you have a huge listening audience. I'm sorry, so I appreciate you letting me say this. Although we are based in Longview, Texas, which is where I live, we help children all over East Texas, from Jacksonville to Tyler to Troop to Texarkana. And that's the thing we want to let people know is that we just don't want people to think it's just a Longview thing. We help children all over the area, so we'd love for people to get involved.
Well, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming on the show with us today. Oh, by the way, I mean, I'm assuming you play in the golf tournament, right?
I do. Well, I have. I played for about the first 10 years, and then I had the, excuse me, I'm trying to get over this little cold. I had the dubious pleasure of the last few years riding around the golf course with the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Oh, okay.
And taking pictures for donations with the golfers. I'm not sure if they're going to make it this Friday. They'll definitely be there for the concert and stuff Saturday. But we have, I think we have Miss Longview and Miss Tyler coming over to ride around and take pictures with, and hopefully we can get in some of these golfers' pockets so they can take pictures with pretty girls. They all love to do that.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody that doesn't like that too much. I got to tell you. Hey, Neal. Thank you so much for doing this. We really appreciate it. I've been wanting to visit with you for so long, and so you've fulfilled a dream of mine, and I appreciate that very much. And anything we can do to help you with the concert or the golf tournament or anything, please feel free to call on us anytime. We'd love to help you out.
I appreciate it, Brian. Keep up that good stuff. I enjoy listening to your program, and I'm a huge sports fan, and I love all the people that side with you and side against you. That's what makes it so fun.
We have a good time. And there's plenty of them that side against me, believe me, I can tell you. Neal, thanks again, and best of luck on the golf tournament, and safe travels as you go on the road all the time, every day, and heading to Oklahoma City and all. We love your stuff. We love you, and thanks for what you do for East Texas.
Okay, Brian. Thank you, buddy.
Good talking to you. Neal McCoy. Thanks. That's awesome. I love that. How about that, Junior?
Pretty cool.
I mean, he is a great guy. And what I like is the guy has stayed true to his roots. He is humble. He is down to earth. He is East Texan and proud of it, and stays here in East Texas, lives in East Texas, and gives to the folks of East Texas. And he's a terrific entertainer and artist as well, and we're really honored to have him on the show today. Very good. All right, let's check in with Craig Smoke right now for a Sports Flash on 99.3 Talk FM.
Thank you very much, Brian. Cowboys news. The team has agreed to a contract extension with defensive end Sean Lissamore.